She swore they were just friends, until I uncovered her lies, sent everything to her ex, and watched her world fall apart in a single message. I had been in a relationship with Jessica for just over 8 months when the whisper of doubt turned into a roar I couldn't ignore anymore. At first, everything between us had the shine of something new, something real. The late-night conversations that stretched until sunrise, the comfortable silences, the easy laughter over inside jokes no one else would understand. I thought I'd found something stable, something I could build a future on. But slowly, subtly, the cracks began to show. And it all started with her phone. Not that I was snooping. I've never been the jealous type. But when someone's screen lights up at 2 a.m., and they swipe the notification away like it's radioactive, you'd have to be blind not to feel that something's off. She always said the same thing. Just a friend. That friend's name was Nolan. And that name lit a fire in the back of my mind because I remembered it. He was the ex she'd told me about during one of our early conversations. Her ex of 3 years. The one she'd said she was glad to be rid of, but that they'd stayed in touch because they had history. I didn't push it then. I wanted to believe her. But one night, she left her phone charging in the living room while she went to shower. The screen lit up with a message. Not because I went looking, but because the universe practically threw it in my face. Can't wait to see you Friday. Usual place. Nolan. My blood ran cold. Friday, she told me, was supposed to be girls' night. My gut twisted so hard it felt like a punch. When she came back from the shower, I mentioned it casually. Nolan texted something about Friday? Her face shifted so fast. Guilt, shock, anger, before settling on offense. Were you going through my phone? She snapped. I told her the truth. It was on the table. The message just popped up. She rolled her eyes. He's just a friend. We grab coffee sometimes before girls' night. God, you're so controlling. I tried to be reasonable. I told her I was uncomfortable with her seeing her ex and hiding it from me. Her response? Because I knew you'd react like this. I'm not cutting him off just because you're insecure. I wasn't asking her to cut him off, just to be honest. That's when she blew up. Yes, I see Nolan. We're friends. Deal with it. When I asked if I could meet him, since they were just friends, she shut it down instantly. That would be weird. You don't need to meet my friends. Oh, but I'd met every other one of her friends. This was different. Too different. And then, just 2 weeks later, the lies started to unravel on their own. She said she was going to book club. We shared locations casually, nothing creepy, just something we'd always done. I glanced at it without thinking. She wasn't at Megan's place, where book club usually met. She was downtown, at Shayla, one of the most expensive French restaurants in the city. Just out of curiosity, I checked Instagram. Megan had posted photos from book club. Jessica was nowhere to be seen. I texted her, "How's book club?" She replied cheerfully, "Great. Reading is fundamental." My jaw locked. When she got home, I brought it up. "So, book club moved to Shayla now." She froze. "You're tracking me?" "We've always shared locations." And Megan posted from book club. "You weren't there." After a pause, she sighed. "Okay, fine. I had dinner first. Alone. With Nolan. But it's not what you think." And then came the excuse. His dad was sick. He was going through a hard time. He wanted to cheer himself up. At Shayla? A $200 per plate restaurant? It didn't add up. But what broke me was her command. "Don't you dare message him about this. This is between us." She looked me dead in the eye and said it, like I was the one crossing a line. "If you do, we're done." I told her she was right, that it wasn't my place. And she relaxed, thinking the storm had passed. But inside me, a fire was building. The lies, the gaslighting, the way she tried to make me feel like I was crazy for not trusting her. It all pointed to something darker than I was ready to admit. But I didn't message Nolan. No, I kept my word. But I never said I wouldn't dig deeper. So I started where anyone would, social media. Most of Nolan's accounts were locked down, but LinkedIn? Goldmine. He was doing very well, investment banking, big deals, flashy trips. Not one mention of a sick dad. In fact, Just 2 weeks ago, he'd posted pictures from a golf trip with his dad, who looked healthier than me. That's when I called my buddy Garrett, who works in finance. He laughed when I mentioned Nolan. Oh yeah, that guy? Loaded, but pathetic. Been trying to win back his ex for months. Shows her photo around like they're already back together. What's her name? I asked, already knowing the answer. Jessica. I felt like the room was spinning. He even bought her a car recently, Garrett said. White Mercedes. Said she finally gave him another shot. My blood froze. Jessica had shown up 3 months ago with a white Mercedes. Said it was a company car. Marketing job at a mid-sized firm. Not exactly known for leasing luxury vehicles to mid-level managers. One night, I asked casually, "Hey, which dealership did your company use for that car?" She fumbled. "Oh, HR handled it. Insurance too. All covered." But I'd seen a Geico bill on her counter. For a Mercedes C-Class. In her name, personal insurance. Not company. That was the final confirmation. She was stringing Nolan along for his money, letting him believe they were reconciling while living with me, her actual boyfriend. But I needed hard proof. So I watched, waited, collected receipts, literally. Her girls' nights always lined up with restaurant charges. I found crumpled receipts in the trash. Date nights with Nolan that coincided with excuses about work emergencies. Nolan was posting about new jewelry, bags, clothes. I matched the timing with her outfits and stories. Then jackpot. She went to visit her mom for a weekend. Posted a photo of her mom's porch. But Nolan posted from a resort 2 hours away. She was in the background of one of his stories. Still, I didn't message him. Instead, I created a Google Drive folder. Screenshots, receipts, location data, photos of us together over the last 8 months. Anniversary dinners, Valentine's Day, Christmas with my family. It wasn't for him. It was for me, for sanity. But the more I compiled, the more I knew he deserved to know. Not from me. She forbade that. But someone had to tell him before he proposed. She had used my laptop once and logged into Google Photos. Never logged out. I had access to everything. I drafted an anonymous email. "You don't know me, but before you propose to Jessica, you should see this." I attached the drive link. 8 months of evidence. And then I waited. Gave her one last chance to come clean. Sat her down. "Jess, are you happy?" "Of course." "Why?" "Just feels like you're distant. You're imagining things." "I'm exactly where I want to be." "And Nolan?" She sighed. "Still? God, your jealousy is exhausting." "Okay, one last thing. The Mercedes, really from work?" "Yes." "Why would I lie?" "I don't know." "Why would you?" She stormed off. I opened the draft. Hovered over send. 3 a.m. couldn't sleep. Thought of Nolan picking out a ring, thinking he won. I hit send. 2 days later, the explosion came. Jessica stormed in midday, face streaked with tears. "What did you do?" I blinked. "Me? Don't play dumb. You contacted him. You promised you wouldn't." "I didn't message him." "Then how does he know everything?" She threw her phone at me. Opened to a message from Nolan. 8 months of lies, Jessica. While I was planning our future, you had a boyfriend. I want the car back. The jewelry. All of it. My lawyer will be in touch. Jessica collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. "You ruined my life." "No," I said quietly. "I just let the truth speak for itself." The car was repossessed. Nolan reported the jewelry as stolen. She lost her job. Couldn't get to work without the car. Tried spinning the story on social media, painting me and Nolan as toxic men colluding against her. But someone, definitely not me, posted screenshots of her texts to Nolan. "We'll be together soon. Just a few more months. I'll wear it." Her friends went silent after that. Final update? She moved back in with her parents. Lost both relationships. Sent me one last text. "You cost me everything." I replied, "You cost yourself everything." She tried a final trick. "I'm pregnant." I asked, Whose is it? She said. Yours. I laughed. Interesting, since we haven't slept together in 3 months. And I've got receipts of you at the resort with Nolan 2 months ago. Radio silence. Mutual friends say she's on dating apps now. Bio says, tired of games. Looking for something real. The irony would be funny if it wasn't so sad. I learned a lot. Don't let someone convince you that your gut is insecure. If they lie with a smile, they'll steal your sanity with a hug. And when they say, don't you dare? That's usually the thing you absolutely should dare to do.